The station named Cold Harbor drifted at the edge of a forgotten trade route, its lights dim and its halls quiet. It was where unwanted cargo ended up, where broken contracts were forgotten. 3 alien women lived there in a narrow maintenance wing that smelled of metal and old air. They were known only by numbers in the station registry, but among themselves they used simple names. Myra, Lila, and Nari, their kind, were called catfolk by humans, not as an insult, but because of the soft fur along their cheeks, the flexible tails, and the quiet way they moved. They had once been part of a labor program run by a distant coalition. When their work contracts ended, doctors declared them unfit for family units. A procedure was done, clean and legal, and stamped with approval codes. After that, the coalition ships left. No return tickets were issued. Cold Harbor became their cage. Each day followed the same pattern. Myra repaired wiring panels. Leela cleaned cargo bays that rarely saw ships anymore. Nari watched the docking ring, hoping to see something other than drifting ice. They were not prisoners by law, but they had no credits, no transport access, and no one who cared enough to notice them. When the human ship arrived, it came in without fanfare. Its hull was scarred, patched with mismatched alloy plates. The name painted on its side was Homeward. It docked slowly, like an old animal choosing rest. The human who stepped out was older than most spaces passing through. His hair was gray, his posture stiff with old injuries. His name was Tom. Records listed him as a retired veteran from border wars no one liked to remember. He walked with a slight limp and carried only a small bag. Tom came to Cold Harbor looking for spare parts and quiet. He found something else instead. He noticed the 3 women while arguing with a station clerk over fuel prices. They stood near a bulkhead, waiting patiently, eyes lowered. The clerk spoke about them as if they were faulty machines, mentioning maintenance costs and liability. Tom listened, silent. Later he saw Mira struggling with a power conduit. He offered help without asking questions. His hands moved carefully, experienced. When the lights came back on, Myra looked at him with open surprise. Humans rarely spoke to them unless required. Over the next few days, Tom kept finding reasons to be near their wing. He shared ration packs that tasted better than station food. He listened when Lila spoke about the gardens her people once grew on orbiting moons. He watched Nari stare at the docking ring and did not tell her to stop dreaming. Eventually, the truth came out, not in anger, but in quiet words. They told him why no one came for them. They told him what had been taken and why the coalition considered the matter closed. Tom did not interrupt. His jaw tightened, but his voice stayed calm. On the 4th night, a patrol officer arrived to inspect Homeward. Tom stood with arms crossed as the officer scanned cargo holds. When the officer mentioned the alien workers and joked about abandoned assets, Tom spoke. "They're coming home," he said. The officer laughed at first, then stopped when Tom handed over old military clearance codes. They were outdated but still carried weight, enough to delay action, enough to buy time. Tom returned to his ship and began filing petitions across every channel he could access. He spoke to veterans networks, relief groups, and independent colonies. He used plain language and told no dramatic lies. He spoke of 3 people left behind because they no longer fit a profit model. Responses came slowly, then all at once. A small colony council offered residency. A medical group offered long-term care, even if some things could never be undone. A transport guild agreed to escort Homeward through risky lanes. When Tom told Mira, Leela, and Nari, they did not cheer. They sat in silence, tails wrapped tight, afraid hope might vanish if acknowledged. Departure day arrived under pale station lights. The clerk did not look at them as they passed. The patrol officer was absent. No alarms sounded. Inside Homeward, the living quarters were cramped but clean. Tom showed them how to secure themselves for jump. His voice shook only once. The ship leaped into faster space, stars stretching into white lines. Cold Harbor disappeared behind them, just another forgotten dot. The journey was long. Tom taught them human customs. They taught him songs their mothers once sang. They shared meals and stories, not as rescuer and rescued, but as travelers choosing the same direction. When they reached the colony world, the sky was wide and blue. The air smelled of soil and rain. Officials greeted them without suspicion. The word sterile was never spoken. Only names were asked for, and chosen freely. Tom stayed long enough to see them settled. Gardens were planned. New routines formed. Before leaving, he stood with them at sunrise. Home, he thought, was not a place that took you back. It was a place someone was willing to bring you to.